So in this short demonstration, I'm going to show you how Microsoft PowerPoint Zoom can help turn a very detailed, linear PowerPoint presentation into an index-based slide that you can navigate through from any section. So if you're talking to customers and they want to start at point B instead of point A, you can click straight to there and come back to the starting point and have a really interactive discussion kind of a presentation. So look, what I've got here on the screen is an example of a kind of sale presentation. There are no sections, there are just layouts and slides where I've created title slides that look the same for each part of the presentation. Okay, and if I was going to present through it in the usual way, I would start at slide 1, for example, and then just click through to slide 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Of course, there are ways that you can shortcut, but Zoom offers a much simpler way, and it's dead simple to set up. So look, if I go to the Insert menu, I choose Insert and then Zoom, and there are two choices. There is a summary zoom, a section zoom and a slide zoom. We'll come on to those later. If I've just got slides and no sections in my PowerPoint, which is how most of us I think do it, I just click on summary zoom. And what PowerPoint does is it says, all right then, of all of these slides here, which do you want to include in the summary or index slide? So I'm going to choose slide 1, I'm going to choose slide 3, slide 5, slide 8, slide 10 and slide 12, because those are the kind of section headers where I've used an identical title slide. Now just look while the magic happens. If I choose Insert, what PowerPoint does, it creates a new slide and it inserts a thumbnail of each of those section header slides that I've just selected into a SmartArt graphic kind of a frame, and they are now active hyperlinks to particular parts of the presentation. And as soon as I finish that part of the presentation, PowerPoint knows to go back to the index slide. And wherever it goes, it allows me then to present the content in that section, all of it, including complex slides that include text and video, which I've animated to play. And even with video, I have complete control, because as soon as I've seen enough of it, I just click on. PowerPoint knows that's the end of this particular Zoom section, and it takes me back to the index slide again. So if somebody in the audience says, oh, okay, let's start off with how it works, we just click on there, takes us to it, we present through it, just as I've done there, and then when we're done, it goes back to the index slide. But it doesn't stop there. We can also change the way that the automatic Zoom formatting works, and we can also change the way that the links between slides work as well. That's the next level of detail. So if I wanted to here change the way that these slides looked, because the edges of the thumbnails that come from these slides that we've selected aren't particularly visible for a presenter, what I could do is color them and change the weight of them. So again, those things are slightly more defined. When we use it, they're still working exactly the same way. But when we come back to that summary zoom section, it just looks a little bit better. Okay. Now, we can also add a title to that slide as well. ESG. And if we were presenting, we might say something like, look, we're here today, of course, to talk about ESG, but in reality, it's all about you. So we'll give you a short introduction about ESG and where we've come from and who we are. And then of course we'll come back to this slide and you can start wherever you want to start. So if you want to start talking about the options that we've got, we can go here, and if you don't, we can just go backwards straight back to the index slide, okay, and start all over again. It's really simple, isn't it? Okay. Now once you've created the zoom, interesting thing that you can do is you'll see that you've now got a zoom choice in the drop down menu box, and if we click on that you'll see that we get lots of choices and options in this box. So for example, if we were doing a zoom and we didn't want to return back to the index slide, we could just uncheck it, and so that every section that we had, so I've just disabled it for the first part there, and you can see now on each one of these slides you get an indicator that tells you a few things. It tells you this goes from slide 2 to slide 3, and because there isn't a return arrow on that tab, it tells you that that section will not return you to the index slide. If we wanted to put that on there, we just click it again and you'll see the arrow returns there, which means, and you can do that for any slide section. If you didn't want that particular section to return to the index slide, you just switch it off and you switch it on again. It's really, really easy to use, and it turns a linear PowerPoint presentation into a really easily navigable interactive presentation that you can use with your audience.